be the end of the war. Many will think that if America ends a war in Asia, this will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lull in a war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about a cessation of war between each other, this does not mean that peace and prosperity is assured. Now, at this time, there's still the Cold War between America and Russia and other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. Europe will become a dreaded spot when America leave Asia. It is true, as the prophet has predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out. Each America and Russia, the two most powerful war factors of the world, is seeking to maintain the rule over nations of Earth and even to conquer outer space. This will not last long. And a travel investigation to space, Allah, God, is permitting them to peep into his great unequal creation of power and might, the heavens and earth. The Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens the door of heaven to them. He gives them a peep to a great wisdom and secret. But this does not mean that this adds power to the enemy to able to war against the Creator. The reason for all of this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality. Black brothers do not look for high-paying jobs, drawing a big roll of money after the war, unless it's with the help of Allah God. You prepare this for yourself, which I advise you to do. The most dreadful divine judgment that have ever been witnessed by man are now coming on America. America isn't a divine target because she could have better herself in the divine eyes of Allah God, who came in the person of Master Allah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. But America did not and will not better herself, as it is written and prophesied concerning ancient Babylon and Egypt. See, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. We see Jeremiah 51 verse 9, but she was not willing to do justice by her captive Jews from Jerusalem. So it was with Pharaoh. When Allah God, Jehovah, went after Egypt, we see the Bible Exodus. Pharaoh refused to give justice to Israel and made war against Allah and his prophet Moses to prevent Israel from going free of Pharaoh's enslavement of them. The war, America cannot win the victory. It is impossible for America to be the victors in this universal war because of this divine intervention against her. Although she have enough deadly materials, manufacturers to try to win, can she win against Allah God? She boasts of her materials and being able to destroy the people of Earth 30 times. If she was left free to use her materials, maybe America could win. But divine die was set against her long before she ever became America. She can try and boast of her idea of mind to deceive her black slave, but she will deceive herself and them. America may manifest by Almighty God and a person of Master Allah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, that she is a total deadly enemy against her one slave. For many years, I have written that America's greatest sin is the evil done to her black slave. God intends to repay her for what she hath done. She deceived the black slave right at the point of total destruction. She tried to rule the so-called Negro in with false and temporary promises. By offering him high political jobs to keep him from turning his attention to self and kind. The black politicians could and should use his political knowledge to benefit self and kind. Why America isolate the messenger of God from their minds with these false promises and make them to hate the messenger of God and to work against him, although the messenger of God is working for the interests of the black slave. The eyes and ears of Allah God are open, looking and listening to their devices. Looking and listening to their devices. God is physically will, and he has will, physical eyes and ears. He's capable of seeing and hearing everything we do and say. He has power to defeat us in our plans which are against his plans. The American slaveholders want to deceive the so-called nigger into believing that Allah God is not paying attention to them. The white man wants them to believe that he is a God that they should pay attention to. I warn my people who believe an idea that the white man is a God that they should pay attention to. You will come up the losers. Because today, brothers and sisters, they think that they are mightier than God. They think that they can thwart his plan and purpose until he comes, who right it is to rule. See, the heaven and earth belongs with the Lord and the fullness. And if he don't like you govern the earth, you see, he moves you off the earth as he's doing today. You see, America, she's in a grip of divine judgment. She's in this grip of this divine judgment of what she has done. Can you not see that Allah God is backing up his people and is backing me up in the work he has given me to do? See, the work he has given me to do is for your own black starvation. If you think that you have starvation with the white man, then go ahead with him. See, I'm not here to force you against your own will, but I want you to know that if you are looking to white America for your starvation, you are headed with them to your and their destruction. And I said, 99% of us don't even know that our future is at stake. See, whatever evil spooners ready to do his worst to you, the 99% ignorant will ever know what's at stake. There is no hope for America to win the war. There is no hope for this black man and the future of America. For America has no future for itself. She will not be able to win the war. The scholars and scientists know that America cannot win. It is not just I alone saying this. The scholars and scientists will tell us America cannot win. And we know by divine prophecy that America cannot win. If it was just Russia, China, Vietnam, and Korea using their judgment on how best to destroy each other, maybe America could win, for she have as much as they have in war, materials, scientific preparation. America is capable of going out of the atmosphere of the earth and to fight them from there. But they will not be able to go out of the atmosphere of the earth and destroy the black man of the earth. It's only a mistake that one should believe in America's ability to build a way station in the air on the moon, for she will not be able to use it against us. The divine plan is set to destroy her. We have many things out there in space that could be brought into action against America or any nation today. For Allah, God, is the greatest. The mother planes. The mother planes was made to destroy this world of evil and to show the wisdom and mighty power of God, who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. See, the nature of a new world is righteousness. And the nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on his planet. Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is wiser than any God before him, as the Bible and the Holy Quran teach us. He taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. See, Isaiah 18 verse 1, whom to the land that shallow it rings. This refers to America. Her lands is being shallow with plains. So we see the mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will rise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. So this reminds us of the prophet prediction at this time, a destruction of the old world and a bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter the board, the inhabitants thereof. The Bible, Isaiah 24 verse 1. No wonder the Lord says in Isaiah 24 that the earth shall read to unfold like a drunkard. See, this mother of planes goes through gravity of this earth. It don't need to produce power from the earth. So it goes through earth gravity 40 miles to the earth. When it takes on oxygen and hydrogen, whenever it comes down, whenever it needs refueling, it can produce its own power. So when it comes to this plane, there are planes in various nations today. But see, this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this type of plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his power to destroy a nation? Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed God and his purpose and aim for justice and righteousness. The right race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned righteousness. See, they was made unrighteous by the false God who made them. See, Allah, God who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching a height of 40 miles above the earth. His word could have been a sign meaning 40 years in which the plane will go into action, and not referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. Every word that he speaks has a meaning. See, the mother plane, according to what had been described of by the devil's scientists, is capable of not only staying up for a long period of time, but also capable of alluring the scientists. See, this is not a plane to be played with, brothers and sisters. This is not a drone that can stay up for so long. This is not a UAP. And if the government knows what they are, they can go track it. See, this man on the screen, Trump, says shoot them down without any investigation. Don't you want to know what they are? See, they fail not to tell you. See, it been something that been so unexplainable. See, there been a war on the earth, but they just haven't told you. See, in 1930, the Chaldeans report seeing the mother plane. 1947, during the Roswell incident, that they saw the mother planes. They witnessed something hovering. And see, this is not a plane to just be taken lightly. See, other planes come out of the motherships. There's 1,500 small planes. And they come in different size and shapes and forms. I say this because they have to know what they are up against. See, Luke 21 and 25, 26, there will be signs and wonders that will be displayed. And Trump says there's something hovering and showering through our skies. Well, Isaiah 18:1 says, whom to the land that shadow with wings. And see, this is why Isaiah prophesies seeing the will. When he mentioned the four little creatures stood by the wheel. And whenever the creatures move, the wheel moved. Whenever the creature stood, the wheel stood. Now let's go. Now they want to attack and destroy it. But if a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, see, it would be destroyed instead. The white man have learned that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother planes. In the 1930s, the Chaldeans newspaper report that they saw the wheel, mother plane. It came down out of the sky. They admitted that it looks like a great city, and that something came down from it and appears to be a tube. But that tube-like thing went back up again. Let me explain about the tube, because I love you guys and I want you guys to hear me. Now, during my incarceration, it was 2010, I had a vision. There was something that was this stoning through the cell. There was light flashing, and I'm wondering, I didn't hear no sound of it. No helicopter, no plane. Something just told me, look out my window. And I saw this object protected in a glass shield. Now picture, you have a glass shield like, I want to say like a square shape. Picture a bulb in that square shape. It was like a light bulb. And I noticed the light bulb was inside this protective shield, this glass shield. And I heard two sounds of it. It was like, and the bulbs just spread. It stopped on a dime, like right at the window. And then when I looked, this object shot inside my cell and it went in me. I want to say for approximately, I want to say 7 to 10 minutes. Now I'm not panicking, my brothers and sisters. Most people will probably hit the intercom to get the CO's attention. But I remember the day that my cellie had colon cancer. And I'm like, what this went in me gotta come out. So I'm sitting just looking at my belly the whole time. So this strange thing just came out. And when it came out of me, I got to see it was like a orb, a blue orb. Now, nobody knows and nobody investigates these orbs. I can explain each orb. I'm going to go into that in another video. But this blue orb came out of me. It was so bright that I lost my sight for a moment. Then all of a sudden, within a couple of minutes, I received my sight. And I got to see this blue crystal orb shot out from the cell, went out from the window that he came in. And I noticed that this object transformed into a triangle shape. I want to say large as you can put 6 football fields together. And this triangle shape was extending, going up. And for some reason, I got to see a little stroll coming down. And on the left side, I got to see nothing but hell, fire. I'm talking about fervent fire. You know, the Bible says in 2 Peter, and I believe the third chapter, verse 7, it says, the heaven and earth will be restored for a day of destruction. So I noticed that the day will be kept for fervent fire and heat. And then on the right hand side, I got to see a new vegetation. All the fine things God will create. So I want to say, this triangle started to extend, and the stroll was just rolled up. And it was just going and going till all of a sudden it disappeared. So, in saying all this, this is the time. This is the time we live in, that these strange things that people can't explain. And I want to say, yes, my brother, each orb holds a meaning. There's a fireball orb which hit up Los Angeles. Let me tell you, that fire was started by a great orb that hit through the power lines and started the fire. Listen to me. See, this investigation is still unknown. But there were strange sightings people captured. They captured the sightings. So yes, my brothers, there's signs and wonders being displayed in the heaven and earth. So Allah, God who came in the person of Master Falad Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that the 6 months to a year, the mother plane will come into gravity of the earth. It takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of the earth gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel prophecy of the will. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision, according to the Bible. He looked up and saw this plane, Ezekiel 1:16, and he called it a will because it was made like a will. A plane that his will shaped it and turned in any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful. And he cried out, "O will," Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in the will and 4 living creatures. And the work was as it were a will in the middle of a will. Ezekiel 1:16. And when the living creatures went, the will went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the will was lifted up. Ezekiel 1:19. The power of the lifting up of the 4 creatures was in the will. The 4 creatures represent the 4 colors of the original people of the earth. There are 5 great powers of the nations of the earth. These 5 great powers are the black, brown, red, yellow, and white are the 4 original powers. The red is not an equal power. The vision shows the 4 creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the will was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the will stood, they stood. This means that they rate upon the movement of the will. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the will, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take hold of fire, scattered over the cities. This means bombs. It can mean fire too, however. The plane is to drop bombs which will automatically be timed to burrow quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth, with our time to explore. Allah God taught me that these bombs are not to be dropped into the water. They are to be dropped only on the cities. It will be the work of the will. The will is the power of the 4 creatures, namely the 4 colors of the black man, the black, brown, yellow, and red. The red Indians is to benefit also for the judgment of the world. We must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous that which is hindering the righteous from making progress, destroy the effect of the poison of that which has opposed the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It is like one being bitten by a rattlesnake. Quickly, medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected and the patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore Ezekiel's vision of the will for the make and the structural works of the will was foretold before it came to pass. The disbelievers believe that which he see present and not that which is prophesied to come. That is why he is the losers and take the course of hell, because he disbelieve in that which is prophesied to come about in a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. He's fastening him with sport and play, and they're doing the evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. You never thought the day would come When you see your wife, a mother, an old grave-headed woman walking down the streets today, half nude. A few years ago, they would not have dared to come out into the public like that. But now they do so because the devil has put his improve on this entire kind. They desire to please the devil. They do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take this black man with him to his doom. So whenever you see the American designers and manufacturers dress the woman up, see, they even dress the man up today. See, you can't make this stuff up. See, don't y'all find in that Super Bowl when you watch the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar performance? Did you see what he had on? Do you see what he had on? See, you can't make this stuff up. The American designers and manufacturers dressed the woman up, dressed the man up in about 1/3 of a dress, and turned them out partly nude. See, you cannot witness this where the gospel of Jesus is preached somewhere in the land where you see nudity. See, nudity is originated from the white man, but they want to tell the world that I'm the guy, but the guy to what? Because they lead you into filth and evil. So you see, she's like a cage for every hateful bird. She's like a cage for every hateful human being. So let us not classify the prophets as liars and ignore these prophecies, for we may cause ourselves destruction through belief in the devil instead of the belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal in the mother plane. This is the reason why she is called the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the maker of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe of 4 planets and stars which are supported only by the power of Allah and the rotations and their orbits. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that the mother plane is a little human-made planet. It's not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if he wants to. So saying, my brothers and sisters, the mother plane is like a new human-made planet. It's like a new Jerusalem, in other words. That's what the mother planes is here for. See, the old world must be removed. In order for the old world to be removed, a new world will have to set in. That's why the Lord said, I will make all things new. But at first, he must remove this rubbish, wicked, white man's world, as we can say, as Pop says. White man's world. Now, I tell things as it is, and I'm not a hater. Most of you would say, well, he's a hater. Well, he's anti-Semitic. Nah, Reverend. He's anti-social. You mean the Pope of Jesus Christ? See, my brothers and sisters, that's the way they handle Jesus and the prophets. You see? Well, that man's a sinner. You see? But it was the blind man that Jesus needed to see. You see? And there was a woman in Revelation chapter 12, verse 4, carrying a newborn. And after the devil been here 6,000 years, there been one war after another. And this newborn was to make his presence felt, to be among God's people. See, the resurrection is teaching us that we, as a mentally dead people, we will rise into a mental death. So you got to realize who God is and discover who the devil is and name the beast that he was. Because this America Latins heavy sentences. See, her suggestion is that she's ruthless, right? And see, when you know a beast, see, a beast eats and seek his prey. See, that's their nature. He eats what's on his plate and some. That's their nature. As Daniel chapter 7, verse 5 says, this very well-known beast that had rise out of the sea, and out from the sea he had 3 ribs in his mouth, meaning that the black man and woman was swallowed for 3 centuries. See, picture who this devil is and discover who God is and name the beast that he is, like Joseph that was in a land of slavery once you were a slave. So now the mother plane is capable of staying out of Earth gravity for a whole year. She is capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen as any other planet is able to do. So she don't have to stop down to this Earth gravity to produce her powers. She don't have to come down to get oxygen or hydrogen. She can go any place she desires to go to do all that. See, the mother plane is not like they little bullets and cameras. No. But for him, Donald Trump, to say, shoot them down without specifying. See, I want to say the mother plane carried the same type of bombs on her that our black scientists dropped on the planet Earth to bring up mountains out of the earth, that the planet Earth was created. See, the knowledge how to do this had not been given to the world, right race. Nor would they ever get this kind of knowledge. See, the knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil would get this type of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are not able to attain this kind of knowledge. Now, what does a 6-day-old baby right race look like trying to compete with a 6-year-old child, black nation? For the 6-year-old child can run all out in the yard and play. He can eat solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. See, the knowledge and power of this world life white race is limited. The world of the white man was made from what he found and what he has seen and learned from the work of the original black man. The white race is far from being able to equal the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane and the work is a display of power of the mighty God, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best knower. He is the mightiest of them all. Oh, well, said the prophet Ezekiel, she was so high up in the sky that she looked it dreadful. She is capable of staying away from you, plans the destruction of her. She is capable of confusing you, who tried to reach her with your means of destruction. See, it's so sad, man, that they rather shoot this down. You can't shoot something down that God made. This is why the Lord says he's coming with thousands upon thousands of his holy ones. He's not coming in time to give you further instructions. He's not coming to give any man and woman teachings. But he's coming to sound alarm. So you see, the dreadful day has come to America. So there are scientists on the mother plains who knows what you are thinking about before the thought materializes. The Holy Quran, Surah 50:16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you cannot attack her. You know how advanced they are from ancient time, from the modern days? They just finding out that with all the technology they have against ours, they can wire and come in and listen in. See, this is why God is telling you he's active, sharper than any double-edged sword. This is why he can come in and listen on what we say and do. See, she can attack you, but you cannot attack her. Attacking something that you cannot attack just make you look like a fool. See, Psalms chapter 2, verse 4 says he was sit in the heaven and laugh. He'll have you in humiliation. This is true. So the mother plane can hide behind other stars and make herself invisible to the eyes because she does not have to wait on a power from the earth. She can produce her own powers to go wherever she desires to go in space. You guys hit that like button. There's 58 of you. Please hit that like button. You guys ain't never been to a live like this and hear some real stuff. But hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. I know most of you guys probably want to yank out my teeth because if you hear, you would just smash that like button. But yeah, I gotta speak. I gotta speak what God put for me. I gotta present it because ain't nobody gonna present it to you. You can go anywhere else. You can go to the news. You can go to KCAL9. You can go to CNN. You go to NBC. You can go to any news. But they ain't gonna explain it like this. I'm sorry. The mother plane is not like your little bullets or camera, which are powered by your limited powers. The Bible prophesies that today America is coming to end. The Bible prophesies that today God wished to make known to us that he is God. He wished to be respected as the superior God. He wished all life in the universe to know that he is the greatest. The Muslim recognize Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, you are the greatest. There is no God like unto you, none deserve to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will. I repeat, there is plenty to make of the mother plane. There is much significance to the course operation of her work. Space here in this book is limited, but what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book forms. O will make to rock the earth and to heap up mountains upon the earth, or will destroy a nation. No wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesied it, that the earth shall read to and fro like a drunkard. Isaiah 24:20. Let us seek refuge in Allah God from the destructive works to come, from this mother of plane. The decision. The Holy Quran, Surah 78, verse 2, of the tremendous announcement. See, the day of decision, we are now living in a time in which we must decide on what shall we do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to define agreement. You black men of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this day of decision to us. By the way, a rule. The rule is in a way of injustice. Now, the God of justice before us, we must decide upon whether or not we will accept a change a ruler or remain under the present rule that's passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of the pressure of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generation. We have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain in what he is already in. However, this announcement is of great importance laid before you and me, so that we may come to some kind of decision, announcements on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It's asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth, remain in falsehood. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the same old wicked God who rule Allah God is here to bring an end to. So the day of decision means that you don't have long to decide. See, and thinking that you have long can be the greatest mistake people will make in the past. In the days of Noah, in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. You know, people was eating, drinking, marrying, and having a good old time. Today in America, you are drinking, eating, marrying, having parties. So all of a sudden, did no one pay attention when that cloud started to set, when that cloud started to darken, and it rained in the days of Noah, 40 days and 40 nights. Job prophesies in 38, 22 and 23, have you entered into the treasure of the snow? Or have you seen the hell? They never seen nothing like this for over 1,000 years. But I'm here to say, no time going past with God. Because the day with the Lord is like 1,000 years. 1,000 years is merely like a day. So he's not slow in keeping his promise, as some count slowness. But he's going to be very patient with you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentancy. So we see the wicked rulers veil the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that the people may take falsehood for truth and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teach us. All an important announcement made by the prophet from Moses to the present day. Enemy of truth had deceived the people and make the people think that they were listening to falsehood. They made the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What it said here in his writing is directed to the black man in America. He is the real one who must decide on whether or not to remain in what he is in or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day in which the announcement is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have a long time and wish to decide on what you want to do, thinking that you have a long time to decide. It's the mistake that the people made in the past. See, knows people, locks people was the losers for ignoring the announcement from these worthy prophets. They waited for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is falling up under divine chastisement and destruction taking place before your and my eyes. Before your and my eyes. Just look over there at Graceland. The seismic activity is building, and these are the pledges that's coming to America. The Bible, Revelation 16, I believe, the 19th verse, talking about that the heaven and earth was split into three fragments. See, Grayson will open up. The mayor over there saying they are reporting so many amount of earthquakes that will trigger a tsunami into Israel. Now I want to say that God is going to establish Israel a land, inherit Israel a land. But there are no righteous people in the land. And this is why he has to establish, inherit Israel a land. Because you see that there are not no righteous people in the land. And you see Donald Trump. He want to take Gaza, the turf of the Palestinians. Because this is just the way that they want to bulldoze and take something. This is why there always been a war. This is why there always been a cold collision. Because she can never keep her nose clean when she loved managing other people's affairs. You see, friendship is speeding her doom, and no one wants to sit with her at the end of the day. She goes to foraging countries. See, she's like and described like a hateful bird. And she thrives, and she goes to foraging countries, discussing all the problems. And you realize she's hated by all other foraging birds. Friendship is speeding her doom. You see, at the end of the day, no one wants to sit with her. And see, America is rivaling. And sooner or later, fire will appear to the land, and people will be looking at America and seeing her in all in one day, brothers and sisters, and 1 hour and 1 year, you see all of her delicious and delicate, her splendor is all gone. Right in the western hemisphere. It's all gone in 1 day and 1 hour it came to pass. So we here in America do not have to wait and see for America falling up under divine chastisement and destruction is taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesies it. Are these days? What is going on? These days are the days of judgment of Allah against the wicked. To see more may mean the end of your life and my life as it was with the people of Noah and Lot who waited to see more. They could not come to the decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. You see, they can't come to a decisive agreement. They can't come with a peace agreement. Trump wants to deport all of 14 countries. See, that's why you see the war of America. Now, can she win the war of Almighty God? Now, to wait for the truth, my brothers and sisters, to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The day of decision, as there was opponents of the prophet and his modern time, with all of the warning that was given before these days, we can make our decision so easily. Remember, the people of Noah had no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember that even as late as the time of Moses, the people of Moses, the Israelites, had no previous scriptures before Moses. You black brothers are better off. You have all the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout the whole 6,000 years of the white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolish as to delay in making a good decision until you see something happen. As the Holy Quran and Bible teach us, until you see the angels coming in the cloud heaven before you make up your mind. But still, probably you will reject that. Surely will not come in the cloud heaven. But as the Holy Quran teach you, it will not be a good day for you who have waited for such time. When angels come in the cloud heaven, they will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It is prophesied that on the day of judgment, the angel will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers, is the first to be judged. Angels come to execute judgment on those who did not believe the message. The angels in the time of Lot are a good warning to you today. Those people was lost. Angels came to execute judgment on opponents, disbelievers alive, in the city of the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world, as Jesus prophesied it, as it was in the day of Noah, Abraham, and Lot. So it would be today. There was eating, drinking, and having a good time, as they call it. But it's not a good time. It's a wicked time. The history teach us that by waiting, there was the losers. But yet it will be the same today. It is the same for what's going on now. You are rejecting this truth, and you are accepting falsehood instead. Naturally, enemy of truth is angry with the bearers of truth, because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. He was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches that whosoever believe the same shall be saved. This is true, whether he is white or black. If a white man, woman, boy, girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, their faith will get them out of the hell that Allah God threatened this world with. And a time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. A remnant of them will escape if they had the faith in Allah God and his religion, Islam, that Jesus prophesies in the Bible. That even though the enemy give one of his least one, a believer, a drink of water, and that being an act of goodness, God will not deprive the act of goodness of its reward. Make up your mind and come to a right decision. I warn you. When shall you see all things? Jesus prophesies that when we see the fulfillment of the prophecy of this time, then we shall know by such acts of the people, strange actions that we had never witnessed before, carry on by the people. Know that the end is near, even at the door. The Bible prophesies in Daniel and Matthew saying that this is a time that man has never seen before, and man will never see such time again after this time. Strange happening. The prophecy, Jesus says that parents will be against children, children will be against parents. Do you not see these things being fulfilled today, right in our eyes? Not only are parents against children, see, children are against parents, but parents are murdering their children, and children are murdering their parents. In some families, the parents kill their children, and then they commit suicide. This is going on today in this old USA, where the gospel of Jesus is preached every hour of the day somewhere in the land. See, every hour in the day there's murdering here in America. And you mean to tell me you can go to a church and not walk 2 or 3 blocks into a church, and the Christian preachers wants to be so-called representatives, so-called God, and you got every street corner there's a church, but the injustice continue to increase, and we are in church shouting, screaming, hallelujah, shouting Jesus, but we are not spazzing out when our people are here lynched, killed, beaten, raped. So you think every representative, so-called God, will explain to you about a wicked, justice system? It should explain to you about the political educational system, the economic, legal, police brutality on black. But yet, you see, there's a denominational, and you got every church from St. Peter, St. John, St. Timothy, St. Matthew, St. Lutheran. You got an apostolic church, a Hindu, a Buddhism. And you mean to tell me that God's the author of confusion? And if he's not the author of confusion, and see, he don't live on tents made with human hands. We got this all backwards. Our people need a voice of the Messiah. They are not hearing anything that will turn them into the Creator God. Because in this time in which we are now living, there is no respect for dignity. See the president leaving the country to travel far and to visit rulers of foreign countries, discuss the strange things that are happening, and the strange things that will happen between nations. The beautiful and rich country of America, to which many people of Europe and Asia migrated, seeking refuge in this country as the prophecy is now coming to fulfillment. In that day and time, everyone will begin to go away from America instead of coming to America. As the Revelation Bible teaches us of the prophecy that they will stand afar and see the fire of her, America, burning. For fear of it, they will lift up their hands and their voices. They will lament for her. See, America's trade is cut off, and all of her delicious and delicate things that she used to have in trades, it is all gone in 1 hour, 1 day. It came to pass here in the Western hemisphere. The most wicked people who ever lived on earth are in the Western hemisphere. And the Bible teaches us that God says that to him, it's like Solomon and Gomorrah. God did say that the wickedness of the day of Noah and his people, and Lot and his people, the Stalamites, was no more than child's play compared to this wickedness of today. For they are highly educated. They are scientists of making wickedness for themselves. Day and night, up and down the streets, see, people are killing, murdering each other. We do not know very much about what is going on in Europe, but we do see it right here in this city of Chicago, Illinois. The radio and television announced to the public that murdering and killing are taking place continually. Now, there's killing right here in the city of Chicago, Illinois, the South Side, West Side. Black people are killing each other. And I remember the minister, Louis Farrakhan, used to visit Chicago and use black apparel, giving the black brother the fruit of Islam. Because I can't see our people killing one another. See, when you shoot your own brother and that bullet goes and he gyrates, he gaps. And see, most of you gangbangers don't think nothing of it. You'd rather, go to a drive-thru, get you a burger, go home, think nothing of it. Turn on TV, watch a movie. And it won't never done of what you did. But you see, the murdering and killing are taking place continually. So now, when shall we see all things? We see, today, there's great disrespect of one another. See, mother and daughters are walking the streets in shames to the public or decent-minded people. They are throwing their clothes aside from their bodies, trying to keep nothing covered but their shame. Some barely cover their shame. As it was in the days of Noah and Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The Son of Man come to judge man and mankind. the days have come. As Daniel prophesies in Daniel 9:26-27, and to the end of the war, desolation are determined. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation that are determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Just think about it. At the end of the war, desolation. So that putting end to the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. In the days of Noah, the children of the Sodomites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered that it was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. And the Bible prophesies of Jesus, Matthew 24:38-39. For as in the days that was before the flood, there was eating, drinking, marrying, and gearing in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. In the time of Noah, the people of Noah was having parties as you are doing today. And that day was the end. And that day was the end. In this time of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were so wicked that they were willing to go to war with the angels in the house of Lot. The Sodomites attacked the angels of God, who had power to destroy the Sodomites almost instantly. The Sodomites warned that they had been watching the angel visiting the house of Lot. A terrible time is gradually approaching upon us. A time so terrible until it will make children's grave hair. The Holy Quran teach us. The Bible teaches us that there will be a time never witnessed by man, and there will be such time and hereafter. It is a great time. Day and night storms are coming in the country. It is storming day and night. It is storming day and night. Let me tell you, when there is a vortex, and see, this vortex that's going to bring blizzards, a storm, storm like a snowstorm. And whenever you get a vortex, whenever you get a cold front meet with a warm front, it's going to produce severe weather, which means you can get a duration of long life tornadoes. And see, you can get that shoreline, and it can be a weather outbreak. A severe weather outbreak is likely to happen. So you might say, why you say there's going to be an outbreak? Because there's a jet stream that when we have our jet stream down, and whenever you get these cold fronts meeting with warm fronts, it's going to produce cells. It's going to produce long tracking cells. So they never seen this event that you're going to see. Never happened over 1,000 years. So saying this to you, this is why he's not slow today in keeping his promise. But he's very patient. He wants us to be very patient. Because God is telling us what kind of people we got to be. But we got to be a spiritual being. Because this day is going to be kept with fervent fire. And these people today that you look at and see on the screen ain't going to explain to you. The day of God. So the Holy Quran prophesies of these disasters, one right after another. This we are witnessing with our own eyes and saying, oh America, where shall you flee? Where shall you go? Because she starts one conflict after another. And see, no one is afraid of you. No one see, this is why 99% of us don't even know that our future at stake. See, we it's like we like sitting in the crossfire in the hands of our enemies. So this is why, brothers and sisters, it's so important that you must come out of her. Come out of her, my people. This is why you must not learn from her. Come out of her, my people. See, this is why you have to cast all your anxieties on him, because he cares for you. And be alert. The enemy, the devil, prowls around like a rare lion, seeking who he may devour. You see, today people laugh at you if you invite them to do righteousness. See, they may mock of you doing right. So did the people of Noah and Lot, as it is said so beautiful in Jesus' prophecy. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. When shall you see all these things that now you see? No, it is here. We are living in the end. Black people, I said, fly to our Lord God for refuge and come follow me. I may look weak, but through me you'll find refuge in Allah. The judgment is near. Everywhere that we look and everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There was never a time in the history of the United States of America that the president goes out to try to visit the heads of all of the nation that seemed to be somewhat his equal. He's like a criminal who had committed a crime. He hoped for mercy for those who had committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching the Holy Quran and the Bible. See, he's like a criminal. Don't you see? He's like a criminal. Don't you see him? And I always say this, Trump is like Barabbas. The people ask for a request. See, it's you people. Put these people back in office. Crucified Jesus, and they ask for a murderer to be released. So what's next from a murderer? Trump, Trump, 34 counts, and See, he's like he's described as a criminal. He's like a criminal who have committed the crime. And you hope for mercy from those who have committed the crime against. The people now ask for a request. Now bring Barabbas from the insurrection. We want him. We want him. Because the people going to put their hope in a billionaire, and he going to tell you, "I'm going to make America great again." See, America will never be great again. Listen. See, they ruin and destroying. So it's like in the time of Samson. You see, America was willing to tear down their civilization. This is why they don't believe in a democracy. Because January 6th, on that night of that insurrection, those people stormed into the Capitol. So it's like Samson in the Bible. Samson didn't care where there be a building left behind. He wanted to get even with his accusers, his mockers, just to prove a point that he was willing to die to help them, volunteered for them to tear down the civilization. Because if you ain't gonna believe in one, then it's gonna tear it down. See, it's a croissant that these people put a propaganda. It's all propaganda. They show no mercy at all to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being had ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of divine judgment. I remind you of a parable of the rich man and a poor man. As long as the rich man enjoyed luxury, cares nothing about luxury for his slave, Lazarus. Then at last the rich man flew into poverty. He was unable to get help even for himself. The Bible says of the poor black slave, none helped them. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. The rich man could witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable said at last the rich man died. In hell, lift up his eyes. He saw a slave in the blossom Abraham. In the heaven, the slave had been promised that he would get into. It was such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. The rich man cried out to the slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew that if the slave tried to get to hell with a drop of water, the slave would never get to heaven. The rich man would be happy if he received a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. But the slave could not come to him for a drop of water, then go to some other rich man's brother, when the rich man knew he was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man said, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brothers, and words to say they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, time is not far. This parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in the blossom of Abraham, because no man came to us, as the Bible teaches us. No man came to the poor Lazarus, lost found. No one aided him. I had been begging for help to borrow money, saying that we would give the extreme interest. No one have come to our aid yet. The white man had tried to prevent everyone who would give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us do his will and bless us to please him. For Allah God is the only help that we have. I do not care what interest we offer. No one wants to loan us. They know that we are well worth the loan, but they do not want us to be helped. They figure that we are going too fast as it is. Oh, rich man, your days have come. Your fall has come, and no one will help you. They do not want to come near. They see the divine destruction licking his tongue about you on all sides. They do not want to get near to you. See, Europe is standing far and will not come near. She does not want anything of you. See, Europe see your doom, and she does not want any herself. Whom to the white slave, master in hell, he lift up his eyes. So, oh America, where shall you flee? See, Asia ain't gonna want no part. Asia will be standing far. Europe will be reckoned with. There's still the Cold War between America and Russia. America and Russia being one of the most two powerful war factors. But this will not last because in a space investigation, see, God allowed them to get a little small peep into the heaven and earth. But that will not mean anything when they just least getting a peep, because he's going to take over. And you see, the worst is yet to come. According to the radio and television, and according to individual conversation, and according to conversation heard between governments officials concerning the problem of trying to find a way to peace for their people, and a way to find a stoppage of the fall of the money market and unemployment, and a stoppage to the revolution between the dissatisfied and the dissatisfied, and to find a way to be able to eat, keep the hungry eating from his own labor. Pacification is offered, but does not satisfy. Now, how do we find a right solution and practice the right method? Because 100 of us is dissatisfied. The dissatisfaction. We are living amongst the dissatisfaction. No one is satisfied, though they may be righteous. So you have the righteous and unrighteous is dissatisfied due to the dissatisfaction. With nation rejecting peace offered, a nation laughing and making mock of you, forever seeking peace and friendship. As it is written, peace is desired more than fine gold. Now, to see all of these things coming to pass, things that we did not know that we would see. We did not know that we would see such a Goliath, such a giant falling. Goliath, who had defiled the nation of the earth, to come out and fight with them, as Goliath did before Israel. Now, nation make mock of the great giant of the earth, America. The sword within, we see the sword without. Trouble seemed to have no end, and with tens of millions of free black slaves crying for freedom, justice, and equality from the white slave master. And the white slave master wants to deceive the black slave and make promises that the white slave master does not intend to fulfill to free the black slave. And with the free black slave thinking that he will eat some crumbs of freedom, justice, and equality from his slave master, the free black slave will be greatly deceived. The slave master cannot free himself from the enemy, not to think of the white slave master free himself from the consequences of the dissatisfied world. So with the worst yet to come, I said to you, my black brothers and black sisters, fly to Allah, come follow me. There are some intelligent white people who knows, who will bear witness with me that the worst is yet to come. Okay, so you want me to get over it? After there been one war after another? You cannot be at peace with them. Even if you try to make peace with them, it's not in their nature. So how can we get over something over 600 years that the devil been here and started one war after another? And God, at his mercy, he's going to continue to work with you. You know how he worked with Pharaoh? Pharaoh was given domains, powers, authority. And you see his political party, his campaign was ruined. So will America's campaign be ruined. It's getting to that point. You know, you were rallying, thinking that you're having a good time while you're here, and all of a sudden, one disaster will come one after another. And as you think she's going to get over the sword made by a previous disaster, another one will come. And another one will come. See, you can't make these things up. So now look at Texas. There's a warden at a certain prison house who send the believers Muslims to the temple so that they may listen to the truth, which is their starvation today to accept the truth. I think that this is a very wise warden. It's like the Bible, the general knew that the apple was wrong and that Elijah was right. The general took 400 of Elijah's followers and hid and fed them with the bread in order to save them from hunger while they was in captivity. I said to you, leaders, remember the above says it is right, that the worst is yet to come. As the Bible teaches us that time will come that had never come before, and that those understood their hearts would be filling them with fear, and their eyes will go away and hold, for looking at things that they saw coming on their people, the trouble, the destruction, and the pledge. Look at the earthquakes that are taking place. Those earthquakes are on their way here. We are feeling the earth shaking on our feet across the country. As the Holy Quran prophesies to us, you will hear it coming from a distant place. So America will be set all around now with trouble and destruction, which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the trouble and destruction, which are going on in other nations. The same trouble and destruction that you read of as happening in other countries, other nations, the same trouble and destruction, with their evil and gruesome sounds, are knocking on the door of America. Judgment have come to America. And my brothers and sisters, if you like to be caught in her snares, as God has set the snare for ancient Babylon, so America is in the same snare as ancient Babylon was. So the Lord, he do not delay. But I say this, even if you want to integrate with the enemy, even if you are in love with the enemy. So I say, most of us want to befriend the murderers. So if God comes to send down his judgment on the enemy that you are in love with, you say, well, no, God, I ain't going with you unless I bring the enemy with me. So you say, the hell with you, God. I know that there's some good white people. And you start making yourself busy trying to find someone good that you can tell your God to your own God. See, you remind me of Abraham. See, when Abraham went to the angels and says, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? He said, well, go see, can you find 50? So you find 50, I will not spare the city. See, Abraham couldn't find 50. He said, well, go see, can you find 40? See, can you bring 30? He said, well, go see, can you bring me one outside of Locks and his family? If you can bring me one, I spare the city. See, God delays judgment so that the people that he has judged are not worthy of what they about to get. Do you hear me? So if you like to be caught in her snares, as God has set a snare for ancient Babylon. So Jeremiah 23:19 says, you see, the storms of the Lord have burst out in wrath, a whirlwind sworn down on the heads of the wicked. Jeremiah 51 verse 1 says he used a destroying wind. Don't you see this happening? America is being surrounded with the great judgment of Allah, God. And the four great judgment that you see are rain, hail, earthquakes, fire, and many other related plagues. Can you not see that God is after you? Can you not see that America is in a divine judgment? Her divine action have come. And if she had done one basic principle, and Jesus says, giving a believer, a brother or sister, a drink of water, and that being a good act, see, God can prolong the time. God can put a great extension of time because no good act goes without its reward. So she don't have a future. What makes you think she have a future for you? She'll have to, sooner or later, pack up. Sooner or later, she'll have to pack up. So my people, you have to be aware of her. You have to come out of her because her sins has heaped up into the heaven. So now you have to reward her even as she has reward you, and double into her double as she has double into your cup. See, America was the last and richest remaining country. She is a godless queen, a seducer. Immorality is now here. You see every nation taking part. She offered her wine of fornication. She's a mother of prostitutes. She must be burned. Her time must come. So you see, Pharaoh's political party came to an end. So will America, and her political party comes to an end. See, this is not a time that you should lollygag and think everything is gravy. Because the devil here to make a fool of you and here to make conflict. But God is here and he will sit in the heavens and he shall laugh. See, he'll have you in humiliation. He'll have you going crazy, insane. So let me close and thank my brothers and sisters for tuning in. Because without you guys, this life wouldn't even be made to you. We see. And I say this before I close, you know, Trump can't make America great. He can try, but he can't make America great. But instead, he's bullying, sticking his nose in other people's affairs. It's going to cause this man to get hurt. It's going to cause a whole collision. Sticking your nose in other people's affairs. See, Trump, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I want you to know that. Me, he's not the smartest man in the world. See, a time is coming. A time is gradually approaching that's going to make children's grave head. The Holy Quran says, a time that's coming, brothers, it's going to blow your heads back. You ain't seen nothing yet. You didn't see these pledges in rotation. It been thou far that it been a year that God been pledging America day and night. And these pledges are visiting America. These pledges are active in rotation. You ain't seen nothing yet. The great earthquake over there that's happening in Greece land, it's going to trigger a tsunami at some point. Because you don't know nothing about the seismic activity during the eclipse, the solar eclipse, the devil's coming. You see, we had another solar eclipse, another devil's coming. You know what that's going to tell you? This is why the prophet Jesus said there will be earthquakes in various places. And you will hear these earthquakes wailing past our feet throughout the countries. So why should these things hit America? Because the Revelation tells us why. God's going to rebuild Israel. But the earth is going to be split up in 3 different fragments. So Trump, you gotta understand, they may rebuild, but God says, I will demolish. And you shall see this with your eyes, and says, great is the Lord beyond the border of Israel. So a son honor his father, and a slave honor his master. So God says, if I'm a father, then where's the honor? If I'm a master, where's the respect? Says Lord Almighty. See, it is you, America, who he is after. It is you, America, that starts conflict. It is why America is in its position today. Never ignore the prophecy. Never ignore what's coming. Because every eye shall see, and every ear shall hear. And you shall say, great is the Lord beyond the border of Israel. So, they may build, but God will destroy. I say it again. They may rebuild, but God will destroy. And you will see this with your own eyes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back with another live shortly. But till then, take care. Peace, blessings. Shalom to you. I'm out.